most of the time you're on odd jobs and doing something else. Just when the puja arrives, you sit there with the sacred thread on yourself, on your body, and you sit there and chant the mantras and do the puja, and people are so satisfied. And I have to prove over and over again, just because I'm a female, that look here, I have really studied the scriptures, and just question me on whatever I am doing. I found no reason at all that in 21st century, when all the women are working, they have their own career, they are so able. Why will that girl be given away? There is no question. If you are a very good human being, then you are the person who is practicing dharma. That dharma, we have made that dharma religion. Actually, it is not that. Dharma is the way of life.
She shattered the glass ceiling when she became a Hindu priestess. But there is more to Nandini Bhowmick than meets the eye. Not only has she shattered conceptions and those barriers, but she has also taken her knowledge, being a Sanskrit scholar as well as an Indologist, to tweak customs that she feels are relevant. She says she is controversial. She does not do Kanyadan, the ritual of giving away a daughter to the husband. Nandini Bhowmick joins me today from Kolkata to speak about her chosen path. I begin by asking her, what took her and led her to this path?
My priesthood activities began with the wedding of my daughter, elder daughter. And eventually I was the priest in both my daughter's weddings. So that is itself a revolution where, especially during my elder daughter's marriage, many people of my family only could not accept the fact that I will be a priest to it. There are so many taboos against all these things. At that time, I did not have a very far-reaching visual that I would become a priest professionally. But as time went and I was into deep study, because I'm an Indologist, I love to do research. My favorite area of research is Indian history and culture through Sanskrit literature. I'm a student of Sanskrit. I'm a professor of Sanskrit. When I started studying deep into these marriage rituals and whatever is said in the Vedic time and in the later ages, then it struck me that I should let everybody know what is there in the rituals. People do not understand. That's why they don't have an idea. They don't have a respect. They just understand that the feras are done and the sindoor is being put, and now the party will go on. Beautiful things are said in the mantras and the rituals and the inner meaning of the rituals, if they are explained in the light of this 21st century. Then the young people, the young generation, will be will pay respect to the age-old Indian tradition. Me and my batchmate Ruma, both of us started this together, and we tried to make people understand. We tried to make the rituals shortened, the mantras, the length of the mantras lessened, and the mantras being explained both in Bengali and in English. And just because we are devotee of Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, whose songs are very much connected with all the mantras, we started taking two professional singers into our group, and the whole thing became very melodious, musical, with the Vedic chantings and the music and the songs and the explanations. The whole thing ends in about 1 hour time. We are priests for both the boys' side and the girls' side. No other priest is required, and everybody is so satisfied because they can understand each and every bit. and we make sure that the explanations are done with respect to this age, not with respect to the Vedic age. Because if I explain literally what is given in the mantras, people won't understand. Because that is in respect to that time, which was relevant in that time. But I have to explain the same mantras in such a way that it is very relevant to this time. That is what I do, and that creates magic.
There's a dichotomy in a sense that, there are people who are pushing to go back to the old ages, to everything that was in the old times, and yet without an understanding of it. How do you then balance that out to the people? Because, everybody is just ready to create a controversy.
Oh, yes, I am a very controversial character that way. First of all, I do not believe in any discrimination, not gender and not caste. That is the main thing, which has ruined our Indian society now. We first question whether a person is born of a Brahmin family or not. But Brahmanism has certain qualities, and I just believe that if you acquire those qualities, you are a Brahmin, and you are definitely connected to the spirituality. The Indian tradition speaks of such spirituality if you are acquainted with the qualities of a Brahmin. Nowadays, what happens, if just you're born of a Brahmin family, even if you do not have any quality, most of the time you're on odd jobs and doing something else. Just when the puja arrives, you sit there with the sacred thread on yourself, on your body, and you sit there and chant the mantras and do the puja, and people are so satisfied. And I have to prove over and over again, just because I'm a female, that look here, I have really studied the scriptures, and just question me on whatever I am doing. So it has taken about 10 years to convince people that what I'm doing is not wrong. And if you appoint me as a priest, because I'm a learned person, I'm very dedicated to my job, and all the priests of Shubhamastu, we started with 4 and now we are 16 of us, because so much work pressure is on us. Almost every day we have priesthood activities. It is not possible for me to go everywhere at the same time. And the world is changing. The people are really fond of us. They respect our work. I officiated a marriage in Dubai, and people were in tears when I completed the ceremony. It is so beautiful. They even today I received messages from them saying that it was so heavenly. Thank you once more. So all this happened through a long process where I was so much criticized. People tried their best to break my morale. I faced many obstructions, hurdles. Now people call me again and again for Kali Puja, doing Kali Puja. And when I began Kali Puja 2 years back, I was criticized like anything, that I shouldn't do this. Something very bad will happen.
I think when it comes to weddings, you're speaking about all the challenges that you had. Really, I just want to go a little bit back and say, what convinced you that this is the path that you want to choose? A, being, like you said, a female in that profession. B, questioning ancient scriptures somewhere down the line to try and modernize them and take them along. And B, and see a society which is so resistant to change.
If you are an ardent follower of what you study, if you love your subject, then and being in the teaching line for the whole of my life, I'm a teacher. There's constant pushing from inside that whatever you believe and whatever you have learned, it is your duty and responsibility to tell the others. And not only through my lectures, I have spoken in numerous motivational talks like today. Much better if I perform and say what I want to say. And being a stage artist myself, I have taken very consciously, I have taken up priesthood. I have taken priesthood to an art form. Shubhamastu performs priesthood activities. They don't only officiate, they perform. We do tremendous rehearsals. We practice, practice, and practice, all four of us. We are in groups of 4 women. And we make sure that all that we do in that 1 hour, people will never forget. People will be mesmerized. I was sure that someday I would make people understand what I am trying to say. It is not wrong, it is right. And just because now people understand that I know the scriptures, whatever I'm doing very consciously, and I can answer whatever question comes to me. So now people are on the other side, just by me, beside me, and they say that we want no one but you to preside over our daughter's marriage.
I've heard that you are actually booked years in advance. Is that true?
Yeah. Now my bookings for 2025 January is also closed. February is going on.
It's the biggest, vindication, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So I've also read somewhere that, the 4 of you, you don't take your surnames when you're officiating in the ceremonies.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Absolutely, because I realized when we started working after 5 to 6 years, when interviews came in and the media and the TV channels started focusing on us, they started questioning us. I suddenly realized that everybody was a type of discussing what surnames we had. At that time, we used to use our surnames. They were just discussing, and Bhowmick and Ruma's surname Roy, these surnames are very confusing. They belong to even Brahmin families and also non-Brahmin families. So people were totally confused and trying to find out whether we truly belong to Brahmin families. And that was the time when I felt very sad that our dedication, our study, our knowledge is not the focus. The focal point is whether we are born of a Brahmin family or not. We do not blame people, but actually people are used to thinking like that. So that was the point when we decided that we will not use our surnames. Our names are sufficient, and people don't dare to ask about our surnames. And we have so many young girls in our Shubhamastu team. People do not dare ask their surnames, do not dare ask whether they are going through their menstrual cycles at the time of the puja. People don't dare.
That's another taboo and another stigma that is, there is a little bit of movement in the fact that, there is still a little bit more public speaking about it. But there's still a long way to go, isn't it?
Of course, there's a long way to go, but the change has begun. We did Durga Puja in 4 places this year. And Durga Puja is a huge event in Kolkata, you must be knowing. We preside over this puja over 5 days, from the 6th day to the 10th day. And we have so many young girls in our groups. None of the organizers asked this question. That means everybody is convinced that during menstrual cycle, a girl is never impure. I have made this point very clear in all my lectures. And the film made on me and my work, Brahma Janin Gopun Kamoti, it also deals mainly with this issue. Because people, when a movie talks of this, people get more convinced. So
That's
that
true.
helped me a lot. Yeah.
Did you get a lot of resistance from men around you? You know, when you not talking about the family, I'm sure you had the support of the family, but
Yeah, I know.
men, maybe even priests themselves trying to cut your work.
Male priests, sort of, I think they did not resist because they thought I'm absolutely minority group, and they supposedly had the notion that I would stop. I wouldn't be able to continue like this because nobody would call me. Then they noticed that I'm not the person to stop, and I'm talking too much and talking against the tide, against all this that is going on. There's a section of male priests who dislike our method of priesthood. They have too much things to say against us, and nowadays in social media everybody's a writer, and they can easily criticize and say what not. Trolling is something. By trolling people get famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we listen and let things go on through the other year. So we are very, very focused on our work, our notion, and yeah, resistance will come, but such resistance hasn't come as yet that we have to stop working. No.
No, Nandini ji, I got in touch with you when I was researching about Kanyadan. I remember that. Uh, th- that is that something that you started not doing right from the beginning when you started
Yes.
officiating weddings?
Absolutely. I started from the very beginning, and if anybody, there were many occasions when people told us that we accept you as a priest, but we have only one request, that please do Kanyadan. Otherwise, we accept you as a priest. We did not perform there. We just said no. There was a time when girls were debarred from knowledge, from studying. Literacy was not there, and very young little girls were being married off at a very young age. And that was the time when people needed to gift the child to another family, a male member of a family, so that that person can take care of the girl child, because she's a child when she's getting married. I think, look, every ritual, every rule has a reason of that time, why the rule is made, why the ritual is made. So I think that was the reason of Kanyadan being coming into practice. And later on, it did not change. That is very surprising. Nobody questioned. I found no reason at all that in 21st century, when all the women are working, they have their own career, and most of the time the husband and wife, they do not stay in the same city also. They have long distance relationship. They are so able. Why will that girl be given away? There is no question. And worse condition is that religion has held its hand with politics. People are taking help of these ritualistic beliefs of human beings, and they are calculating our lives in such a way, making us afraid of the do's and don'ts of different rituals. Um, if you love something, the other side of love is scary. That if you do not do this in the proper way, something very bad will happen to you. People make these devotees understand that, and through ignorance, people often believe in that. And in this 21st century, in this modern age, when science and technology has gone so far, uh, but our religious beliefs are not wide open. We have closed all doors and windows. It is not that the sun rays will come into your house and won't go into your neighbor's house. The nature, goddess nature, loves everybody without discrimination. The flowers bloom, the breeze blows, you're taking your breath every single moment without realizing. We are alive. We are so blessed with the nature. Nature never discriminates. Who are we to discriminate? We only fight with each other for nothing. I try to make people understand religion like this. That is little what I can do.
Well, the earlier I was researching my family's history, which is when I got in touch with you, and since the early 1900s, my family has not done it. So there was no Kanyadan for my own wedding, but I come from North India, which is a bit more, let's just say
Strict.
ardent about it.
Yeah.
Have you officiated any weddings in the north?
I have gone to Western India often, and no, North has not invited me often.
I wonder why.
I
But
know that.
but I just went.
Even in South, they are very strict.
But the Kanyadan is it polarizes people. There was an advertisement that came out. There was such a furore and a backlash, and I think they had to withdraw that advertisement, which was about how the family was not doing a Kanyadan. And in times like now, where anything that looks at tweaking of any of our older rituals is considered to be anti-national, how do you then, how do you change the mindset of the people?
I think it's because how I handle the situation. I don't do it very consciously, but it's by my nature, because I love to teach throughout my life. I love to make people understand what I believe. It is just the way I speak, and it is just the way I explain to people that people, thank God, people get convinced. I never say rude words, I never say harsh words. I always speak very softly, because I understand that a lot of sentiment and a lot of emotions are inside these beliefs, these taboos, which really they are nothing to us. Early 30s, girls are getting married early 30s. They are completing their career, they are going into jobs, and then they are getting married. They are choosing the partner themselves, then they are getting married. So no point in Kanyadan now. You have to understand.
You must have. What other tweaks have you made? What other changes have you made along the way?
Changes regarding Sindoor. Why should only a girl be marked with something by which later on the society will understand, oh, that person is married, because she's putting a sindoor on her forehead. And when you see a boy, you can't understand whether he's married or not. So it was like the older times, it was like a mark of marriage that a girl had to carry. So in this time, when girls are working, and in their regular life also, married girls often do not put the sindoor on. The sindoor is a very beautiful custom, very beautiful ritual in the wedding ceremony, and Shubhamastu takes it up as an auspicious tilak. The girl and the boy wish each other very good wishes. They put tilak of sindoor on each other's forehead. That is a huge change that I have made, and that is accepted nowadays. And that is taken up in the film also done on me. Another thing I can say that if you go through the wedding rituals, the mantras, you'll always see that the boy only speaks. The boy leads the girl in whatever is done. The boy walks first, and then the girl just follows him. In our method, all the mantras are said by both the girl and the boy, and they walk side by side together, and they participate in the wedding rituals with equal honor and dignity.
Which means that you're constantly challenging the patriarchal norms of the society, isn't it?
I very consciously write my script, and time and again I change my script. That is not the final script. Now the script which I am using, I think it has been changed 5 or 6 times already in these 10 years. Now Shubhamastu has 4 groups. So every year we officiate about 150 weddings a year. And myself, I think 250 crossed, 250 plus, yes. Whenever I change, then we need rehearsals for that also. We are very serious upon practicing. 4 of us chant together and you will feel that only one voice is coming. We are so serious and we are so perfect in our rendition.
What is your focus as a priest? What is your big focus as a priestess? What is your big focus? What is the focus to
The main focus is making people understand that the age-old Indian tradition is very nice. It is not watertight compartment, as we all think that religion is a very ritualistic thing, having many watertight compartments, having many do's and don'ts. It is not like that. If you think of Dharma as it is said in our Vedic literature, Dharma just speaks of having such qualities so that you're a very good human being. That is all. If you are a very good human being, then you are the person who is practicing Dharma. That Dharma, we have made that Dharma religion. Actually, it is not that. Dharma is the way of life. It is speaking truth. It is being pure from inside and outside. It is, the heart should be filled with love, sympathy, forgiveness, kindness. That is Dharma. Loving everybody without any discrimination. That is Dharma.